What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is James, and here's my 2023 in the bag that no one asked for. Starting off is with my putting putters. I have the Birdie Marbles. These have changed my game by a lot. I've stopped looking for like putters that go into the basket. These feel so good in the hand that I'm just going to teach myself how to put them in the basket, which is what you're supposed to do anyway. You know, stop playing in the gear. Throwing putter, I have this Recco and this K3 plastic. I don't have to throw it hard for it to go far. These things have glides for days, and it's the K3 plastic from Casaplast. It just feels good in the hand. Reliable. It doesn't beat in super fast, even though it's base plastic. The K3 from Casaplast, man, it really is good. I put back in the Berg this year. It's there for one reason and one reason only. It's there to throw in. It's to try to throw it in. I have had a hard time this year with all the form changes of getting inside of circle 2 in regulation, much less circle 1. So in that 100 to 150 foot slot, when I need to make some scoring opportunities happen, especially when the putting's going good, I'm going to start trying to throw it in, because the good thing about the Berg is you can get it basket high, and as long as you have good touch and good tempo, when it gets past that basket, all it does is fall to the ground. And that's what a Berg's meant to do. And that's what it's good for. All right, in the mid slots, recently put bins back in the bag. I got a Buzz SS. This thing pops up to flat and will ride right. The whole purpose of this Buzz SS in my bag is for right turning shots that you need to do it with a mid, where it's a nice turning right shot. That's what a Buzz SS does, and it does it well. For that straight shot, I got this 5-time Buzz, this ESP Buzz, this 5-time. This 5-claw here was the very first premium disc that I think I bought ever. Before this disc was just starter sets in that DX plastic, you know, or whatever, any of those base by DX, right? So yeah, first one. So it's been in my bag the longest. I bought it right off the shelf, brand new, when they were still on the shelf, the 5-claws. So goes dead straight, I flips up the flat, goes dead straight and straight. Love it for that. Next in the bag, one stability tick more, is this Z-Sparkle Glow Buzz. This thing holds hyzer, holds anizer with a slow pan out, and when it's thrown flat, it will go far, and then have that reliable left fade that you like out of a disc that has a fade. Then it's my trusty Austin Turner Ice Quake. These quakes are the best, bro. I throw these backhand Annie for max distance overstable shots. I throw them on hyzer for a good dumping overstable mid shot. I use them for max distance forehand mid shots where I'm really pumping it out there and it's going flat, pumping straight, and it has that reliable fade at the end. If I throw it flat, it will have a little bit of turn, but then that reliable back straight. I use it for up shots. It's kicked out the zone. I throw utility shots with it. I love this disc. This is my favorite disc in the bag right now. Not even close. There's not even a close second. There's some good ones in here. This is the best. All right. In the 7, like the slower fairway driver slots, I have this old school 172, 171 gram T-Bird. This thing, I throw it on hyzer, it flips a flat, it goes dead straight with a maybe bit of a turn, but it has that reliable hook up at the end that you want out of a T-Bird. Love it for that. A little bit faster, but same old spot for me is it's right in the middle of my most overstable. It's this T-Bird 3 in this new 2023 Glow. A little bit more gummy than the ABs are, but I can hammer it straight and flat, and it'll go straight and flat with a nice panning fade at the end, and I love it for that. And I can even down tempo on this, and it'll go like what a flatter, more straight T-Bird would do, but I can down tempo with it. But it's more torque resistant, so I can throw it on flip up forehands, and I love it for that reason. Then I have this really dumpy T-Bird. It's a dumpy T-Bird. It's a Glow Max Weight, Champion Glow Max Weight T-Bird. It just dumps. It fades, and it fades hard. It doesn't matter how I throw it. I love it for that reason. And then I have this AB T-Bird 3. These are way more torque resistant than normal T-Birds in my opinion. So I can really hammer it flat on forehand. I can throw it on ante on backhand and not worry about getting it over torqued. I really enjoy these T-Bird 3s for those shots where I'm really trying to hammer the backhand or the forehand and really trying to get max distance out of it. I really enjoy that these don't have as a dumpy fade as my T-Bird, but are more torque resistant, but have that more glidey fade at the end. In my longer distance fairway drivers, I got these 9-speeds. These are my Sidewinders. I have this old school, like used bin 799 disc that I found, patent number, Sidewinder, who cares? It's beat in and it feels good. It's coming from that Jolly Launcher era. It flips up the flat and we're wide right. And because it's so understable, or because it's the speed that it is with the stability that it has, if I down tempo to like 75 to 80%, it'll flip the flat and then go dead straight and like really cover that 7-speed slot that a lot of people like to throw. Because I throw it so often, I feel comfortable down tempoing rather than throwing a max 7-speed, that same shot. So I really enjoy it for that slot there. When there's no wind out, this is my bomber disc. This is the one I throw the farthest. This is my, my Halo, Star Halo Mason Ford Sidewinder. It's my beat-in guy. These Mason Fords came out really overstable for some reason. I'm not sure. It flips the flat now. We'll go dead straight and then fade. Or if I throw it flat, we'll have a touch of turn, but it will pan out and it will fade out for sure. A little bit more stable than that one. And we're a little bit more reliable into a headwind. I find that beat-in discs and headwinds are a little less reliable or a little less torque resistant. I don't know if I'm making that up or if it's just the truth. Who knows? Anyway, I've not heard it from anybody else. Just I find it to be less torque resistant when it's used than a newer, fresher disc. This is the newer, fresher one. This is the one that I like to use into winds if it's a touch of head or a little bit more headwind and I still need that reliable Sidewinder flight where I'm trying to get max distance and I'm getting the S-flight, or if I'm trying to make that disc move from right back to left on a backhand, this is the one that I'm going to, pulling out of the bag. Then in my overstable slot, I just put this Honor in, and this Honor is covering my beat-in Firebird. And like I was saying before, I find that really beat-in discs, especially in headwinds, are a little less reliable, or a little less torque resistant. I don't know if that's true again, but that's how I feel that it works. This one for me, I can pump out flat. It will have a little ride to the left, but we'll have that reliable Firebird-esque dump at the end. But it gets further distance than a fresh Firebird, and I can really push it. It's kind of what I wanted the Thunderbird to be, but it feels better and it feels, I like it more. Personally, it is what it is. Then I have a Sexton Firebird. It's a Sexton Firebird. It's a Firebird. All it does is it dumps left. It dumps left on right on forehand, dumps left on backhand. I use it mostly for forehands for that dumpy distance. It goes like 320, 330 for me. And it just dumps right. I had to throw it flat or a little bit of ante to get it to go as far as it needs to go. But it's a Firebird. You need a Firebird in the bag. And then I have a utility 9-speed. It's this cap wrap. These things are super overstable. It's for that I got off the fairway and I need to throw a cut forehand. I need it to get far up the fairway before it starts panning out, but it will always, always, always pan out. That's what these cap wraps do. They have a ton of resistance to torque and they're super overstable and they're really just utility discs, especially for me. In my distance slot, I just put this Goldline Burst Kevin Kiefer Sapphire in. It weighs 167 grams. This thing bombs, it goes far, and it has really late stability. I don't know how it has such late stability for being a beginner, understable like disc. It's like a further Sidewinder with more ending stability. So it will go about as far as my Sidewinders, but it will end further left, which is nice. It's a good disc for that, and it's got that max distance, so that way I'm still getting as far as my Sidewinders are going. It's working further left at the end, especially in a calm day or a little less moist day. I really enjoy throwing that. for a really dumpy disc, this is like my longer honor. This is a Martin Hindell Color Glow Champion Series Wraith. I don't know. It's a Champion Wraith. They changed colors too. I don't know. It's really overstable. It's the most overstable Wraith I've ever thrown, and I've heard it's the most overstable Wraith that there is. But it goes really far, really fast, and then has a really hard fade, really overstable, and a headwind, really reliable on the forehand, and I love it for that. And then in my bomber slot, I have this S-Line DD3. This thing just goes far. It goes really far. It goes really far really fast. And I enjoy it on my forehands. It feels perfect in the hand on the forehand. I can really get a good spin out of it. I really enjoy it. It's been one of my new favorite discs in the bag. The Quake is definitely number one. This is the number two, second favorite disc that's in my bag right now, just because I'm getting some really good results out on the course with it, which happens a lot of times when you put a newer disc in the bag. And that is my grip bag. And I'd be remiss to say, if you haven't tried these Storm bowling bags, the powder's a little bit finer, but what's really cool is that they smell. They have like 3 different scents. This one's blueberry, so it keeps my bag smelling a little bit fresher than normal, which I love. Anyway, that's my 2023 in the bag. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks a lot.